It's full-time Reds. There's only about 5 people watching because most people are watching the match. We said we come on at we quarter to 10, and when we were 3-1 down, I was like, yeah, that's safe enough. And it turns out that it's not safe enough because Liverpool have come back against Leicester
Yeah.
from 3-1 down at half time to draw 3-all. Minamino with a goal in the last minute of, I think it was the last minute of injury time. And it's fucking brilliant. Do you know what? I really enjoyed that, Kev. I
I
really
did. I
enjoyed
loved
that
it.
game.
I can't wait to get into it. Leicester have taken their first penalty. Yuri Tillemans has scored first.
Okay.
James Milner stepping up now. They're
Okay.
going into the away end. Casper Michael on the goal line. Milner taking his run up now and smashes it in. Casper
Right.
never moved.
1-1, 1-1.
1-1.
I was watching it. I mean, Minamino scored, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Of the setup, and then I looked at my stream is gone. So I'm literally sitting here with nowhere to watch it. So you're my man for this. The show will go live properly, and we'll be live properly as soon as this is over. But you're going to
Yeah.
give me some running commentary as this goes.
Yeah.
So
Here's
Tielemans,
Madison taking the ball up now. He's just coming into the penalty box.
Up first. He scores.
Tillemans is gone, scored. Milner scored. Madison next.
Yeah.
He's only going off about a 3-step run up and straight down the middle. Went high. Both Leicester pins so far have gone high.
Okay.
It was actually. I mean, look, there was nothing that Kelleher could do with it. It was down the middle. The curl took it to Kelleher's right hand side, but the height, he'd have never got the height anyway.
So that's 2-1 to Leicester.
2-1 to Leicester. Penalty ball is already in the spot. Bobby Firmino.
Okay.
So Bobby's taking about 5-step run up. Casper doing his little best. Oh, bit of a stutter and in.
Okay. Good stuff.
Bobby,
2-2.
Bobby just pure big Bobby there.
Okay. Megan McCann says even Gav and Kev fight back from the Reds. Yeah, it was. Do you know what? I enjoyed it.
Fantastic. I loved that game.
I really did. After 13 minutes, I was like, oh, this could be anything because the lineup Liverpool put out compared to what Leicester went with was absolutely mental. But
yeah, Schmeichel complaining to the ref about Firmino's stuttered run up. He has a point, to be fair, because they were meant to ban that. But as long as you continue to move forward, it's okay.
Yeah. So it's 2-2 after 2 penalties.
Mark Albrighton standing, I think, number 11 for Leicester.
Yeah,
I think
Mark Albrighton is correct, yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Smashes it straight down the middle, and I mean laces through it.
Okay, so that's 3-2 to Leicester. Liverpool's third penalty on the way.
In fairness, all of these pins, keeper left with no chance unless you're brave and you stay rooted to the spot. Yeah, if you're brave and stay rooted to the spot, Kelleher would have had a chance maybe with one of them. Ox standing up now. Casper coming out to greet him as you do.
Jesus, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad confident over the Ox. I'm being honest with you.
Well, you didn't have a bad game.
No, you had a good game. You had a good game.
Here we go. Oh, and smashes it. Takes the same route down the middle.
Okay, 3-3 after 3 penalties.
And Ox is giving it the verbals back to the Leicester fans in the corner. Let's have a look. Ox takes a run up. I'll tell you what, no, it was the camera deceiving me. He got it in the corner. Casper went the right way, but Power Chamberlain put on the ball. Casper had no chance.
Adam is saying we will win. So with a bit of luck. 3-3. 4 penalties for Leicester.
Thomas coming up, left-footed, left back.
Yep.
And it's saved! Great Kiwi Kelleher, boy!
Saved by Queevy and Kelleher. That's Leicester's fourth penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, saved by Queevy and Kelleher. Leicester have taken 3 penalties and now...
and he had a foot on. That's a brilliant save.
So it's Leicester. Leicester have taken 4 and scored 3. Liverpool are 3 from 3. Currently, Edwin Denham are we winning this? I haven't got a clue, mate. My stream went down literally as the final whistle went. It's advantageous in the penalty shootout. Liverpool's 4th penalty taker about to come up. I'm going to have to cut all this stuff out for the audio downloads and just go.
No, Naby Keita coming up. Casper coming out to say hello, as you do. Naby's basically doing Naby things and just chilling. about to put the ball down the spot. Casper dilly-dallying as he's been doing for the whole of the second half. Naby, let's have a look. Here we go. And smashes it. That's a beauty as well, right high in the corner.
Okay, 4-3 to Liverpool.
4-3 to Liverpool.
After 4 penalties each, Leicester have a 1 penalty left, which I presume will be... Did Jamie Vardy stay on the pitch?
I think he did.
So I reckon he'll be the next penalty taker for Leicester. And then who will go last for Liverpool, do you think? Jota?
Jota, I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it'd have to be Jota. It's Iniacho coming up to take the
5th?
Yeah.
Did Vardy not stay on the pitch?
I don't know.
I thought Vardy stayed on.
Here he comes. Scores.
Okay. Oh, Vardy's still on there. Very strange. Very strange. Well, okay, who's up last for Liverpool? It's 4-4. Liverpool have the 5th penalty now from...
They're still showing the replays. We're still waiting to see who's coming up. Casper's in the referee's ear constantly. It's Taki Minamino coming up.
Okay. It's a bit strange, isn't it, that Vardy didn't take a pen in the first 5?
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Jota hasn't.
Yeah. Jota.
But if you're feeling confident, you're feeling confident. And after he
that's true
scored,
as well. That's true
he scored the goal to give us the chance.
Yeah.
And I'd assume he'd have taken him for Japan. He'd have played in plenty of Asian games and penalty shootout situations in the World Cup. Here comes Taki. Oh, and he does a fucking... Oh, he skied it.
Okay, so it's 4-4 after 5 penalties. Minamino has missed his penalty.
And Kasper Schmeichel giving it that as if he did fuck all. Yeah. Oh, no. I think Kasper got a save on it.
Oh, okay.
I think he got a save on it. I'd have to see the replay again. But he stayed central.
Okay, so now we're into the 6th penalty.
The 6th pen is Ryan Bertrand coming up.
Why is Vardy not taking a penalty?
He must be off the pitch.
I can't remember Jamie Vardy coming off. I remember them taking Daka off for Iheanacho.
Yeah.
He's not showing a substitute with here. He took off Dewsbury Hall, Daka.
I think this is Ryan Bertrand. I'm not sure.
Number 5 is Ryan Bertrand.
Yeah. And Kasper... Quiveen saves it again.
Quiveen saves from Bertrand.
Saves from Bertrand went low to the keeper's left and Kelleher got down and saved it. In fairness, Bertrand sold himself. It wasn't a good pen. Wasn't in the corner. Gave Quiveen Kelleher every chance to save it. And he did it absolutely brilliantly. It was a fantastic save.
So who's up now?
And it is Diogo Jota. It's Diogo Jota coming up. Kasper trying to give it the psychological warfare and what have you. Wouldn't kick the ball back to him and ref had to go and get it. Diogo's just placed the ball down. Taking his step back. Deep breath. And here he comes. Barry's in the bottom corner. Liverpool are in the semi-finals of the Cup.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Absolutely ecstatic. Serves Leicester absolutely right for their time wasting. They're pissing about in the second half.
You go and tell them, Kev, it's Christmas. You tell them what you want, brother.
Absolutely delighted for the reserves tonight.
Absolutely brilliant. Jota gets the final penalty to win 5-4 on penalties after 6 penalties each.
5-4 after 6 pens.
Yeah,
Kelleher
absolutely
with
brilliant.
2 saves.
Kevin Ball is delighted. He says, yes, get in the lads. We came on at the time that we said we would come on. We knew
where the hell were you, lads? Come on, we did say.
We knew there would be nobody watching because we were all watching the game. But I genuinely wouldn't have come on till after the penalties until my stream went down. And then when my stream went down, I was like, the only way I can get this is if I get Kev, because I know he's watching it on whatever subscription channel he's on. Let's just say, but I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted because the team he picks is fucking outrageous. And when you look at what Leicester pick and then what they bring on, now we do bring on good players, but they do the same. Jonathan says that was a madness. Merry Christmas, Brendan. I'm fucking delighted for Brendan Rodgers because he's a fucking spoofer.
Klopp coming on and he's shaking hands with the officials. Big fist pump, big hugs for everybody.
It's
Nico
amazing.
Williams gets a lovely hug.
It's amazing. This is
amazing. I love this. This is why at the start of the season, do you remember? We were always saying that the League Cup is the one you want to do well in. And it's for this reason, because you get the skeletons of the first team squad, but you get to see these kids and you give them a platform to play with better players in a full house. This is exactly what you want. And we'll go through the first half in a bit for the downsides, but then you see this. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy.
It's faster. Tortoise too. Asks who scored the last pen. Diogo Jota scored the last pen. Chris Brack says we gave them a head start and we still won. What an emotional roller coaster, says Archie Doolan. Wait till later, Archie, when we start talking about things around the house and what we should be doing, because that seems to be the theme this week because it's Christmas. What a second half, says Ash McCall. Do you know something? I'm absolutely thrilled, and I'll tell you why. Because Jamie Vardy's smug-heading him after 13 minutes, and his manager's smug-heading him on the sideline. I'm absolutely thrilled. If you're happy that Liverpool won that game, you better hit that like button. I'm fucking telling you. I never demand it, but you better smash that like button while you're here tonight after winning that. Garmax says, fucking yes, lads. He's absolutely over the moon. Evening Reds, says Red Steve, me old pal. He says, get fucking in. Blessings to all, says Bejan. Schmeichel acting like his own man. Tosser, says Pat Moynihan. Yeah, he's a fucking wanker. They all are. I'm not messing with you.
Stop giving it the big one to the fans now. Absolutely. Big cheesy grin on it. He knows he's got extra games to play in January, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, like, let me see. Paseo says, I gave zero fucks about this game until that knobhead knee slides in front of the cop because he scored against a bunch of kids. Yeah, I'm all over that. I'm absolutely all over it.
Absolutely. Great show.
And you know what? I have to be honest with you. I said it to the lads after 15 minutes. This could be any score. Simply because Liverpool had most of the ball, but they were giving it away in areas where Leicester had to make one pass and they had two absolute rockets going forward.
All three goals were our own mistakes. Our own fault.
Yeah, Chris Brack says, get to 100 likes or Gav to eat cauliflower cheese. I'm not eating that, regardless. The draw is happening now, says Kevin Ball. So, Kev, if you can keep us up to date on that.
Yeah.
Or if you have her on. Not you, Kev. Kevin Ball can do it.
All right, cool.
Oh, now he says, isn't it? I don't know, Kevin Ball.
It is, yeah. It is due to be on. I can see if I can get in.
Okay, keep an eye on it anyway.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Well, look, in fairness, you know what? Why bother? The chat is going to keep us well informed tonight.
Yeah, more than happy to shove it up Schmeichel, Vardy and Maddison, says Aiden91. I have a little thing on Maddison later on when he gets booked and he's clapping the referee and I'm like, what are you even protesting about?
It's not that. That's he could have got a second one for that.
Yeah, but
if the ref had saw it.
We go on for a couple of minutes about just the reaction, and then we'll try to bring it back to the first half and stuff. Daddy Pig says, let me see there. First half was so hard to watch. The centre back partnership was the worst. Gomez needs to book up. Kanate was brilliant. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. It's one of those though. I think he got. Do you know what? I think he goes out with the mentality of I'm putting these youngsters out and see what happens. If it had been 2-1 at half time, I think he might have persevered a bit, but when it was 3, he was like, no, I'm not letting my lads get beaten like this, and he puts them on. Semi-draw is on now, says Emma Kavanagh, so everyone keep an eye on that. Jota has got to be the one most underrated signings we've made. Seriously, what a damn player, says Mohammed Jogee. Do you know what? He came on with like a man on a mission. He was getting in people's faces. He wins around the sideline and the left back's on the ground saying, you elbowed me, and he's like, well, the ball was there to be won. And he was a man on a mission. He's absolutely made for Liverpool. Emma Kavanagh said that he called 3-3 and a win on pens last night. We can go back and check the records, but we'll believe you. Maddison is a clown, says Kevin Ball. Brendan, are you watching? Your boys took one hell of a beating, says Red Steve. I'm absolutely delighted for him. I'm delighted for him because I'm sick of people telling me that he's the second coming of this, that and the other, and I was only hoping he'd get the United job, and that's how highly I rate him, that I want him to get the Manchester United job. the crowd was unbelievable tonight, says Keen Ryan. That's
They
a
were.
great show. The place was bouncing. And I think it was kind of a bit of defiance because the Leicester fans were decided to start singing Feed the Scousers and stuff like that, which is fucking bang out of order. And you know something? I think Leicester and their players and probably their fans got that Liverpool crowd up a bit tonight. Added into the fact that you were watching kids getting a bit of a beating after 15 minutes and everyone reacted. Schmeichel deserves that, says Tomas Kennedy. Brilliant, great resilience by the boys, says R10 Malcolm. Jota was so killer with headers for a short lad. He really is. Keita was awesome, says Antwango. Thought he was great when he come on, Keita. Jota played football outside the box tonight. He did. He went right side and he just ran his legs off. But you know what it was? There was nothing fancy about it, or it was just hard.
Very direct,
work.
wasn't he?
Hard work it was. Did you hear the Leicester fans absolutely twats singing about Gerrard and the usual stuff? I did, and I couldn't believe what I was listening to. You know, I just couldn't believe what I was listening to. But listen, that's the way they are. Stephen Dunn, how are you, Stephen? He says, lads, that was glorious madness. Fuck the Tories, says Ash McCall. Yeah, go for it. Emmett Kavanagh says, lad, I know it's the last time he gives up his league. Oh, lad, I know it's the last time he gives up his league tickets away, Arsenal, and now this. Kelleher the Hero says the Red Sea podcast. Yeah, 2 brilliant penalty saves. The crowd at 70 minutes, says Russell Dewey. What an atmosphere. Delighted for Schmeichel following the ref around all night and then wouldn't go back on his line for the pens. He's a prick, is what Schmeichel is. But absolutely delighted for him. Glad we knocked those Tories out. Enjoy the bus ride home, dickheads, says Chris Brack. Kanate was a fucking beast tonight. He was unbelievable when he came on, Kanate. And he throws in a challenge on Brighton. And I've seen replays and I don't know if he touches him.
I honestly think it was all Brighton fouled him.
I think Brighton actually stumps his toe in the ground and goes down. Could be wrong.
If there was any contact, it was all Brighton on him. Kanate was nowhere near the ball.
No, he just slid in. But your man team, I thought he kicked the ground.
I'd have to watch it back. I hope to God that Sky show this game either as a live replay or something over the next couple of days, because we got jack shit all to watch. So I hope they do, because they had cameras at all the grounds tonight. So there's no reason why they shouldn't, because it was an absolute brilliant game for us. Goals aside, I was so happy with the performance. Even at 3-1, I was happy with the performance. Because
I loved every minute of it.
I did. I really enjoyed it. I can't explain.
From 14 minutes on, I enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah. I thought from the first goal, the second goal, I'm kind of going, it's just there's inexperience here, and we're literally, the protection isn't there for the back four that need it when you look at them. But from then on, I just thought it was great. And even when Maddison scores and makes it 3-1, I'm like, just one goal. You know where this is going. If one goal. Real Talk Football TV says, what a fucking team. Jota is some player. Sancho cost double the price of Jota. Let that sink in. Downturn Abbey says, I'm going to try to read out as many as I can of these tonight. I didn't initially care. It's the Carabao Cup, but the longer it went on, the more I got invested. This was me. I was having a great time watching it because it was like a load of kids. Bradley and Kelleher's in goal. Bradley, you have Nico Williams, you've Tyler Morton, Cometio and all. And then, but the more I got into it, when we got that second goal, I was really heavily invested in. Get a third goal and just see what happens, you know. But Brendan Rodgers absolutely bottled it again. You see the changes he makes, the players he brings on, and he'll rest all of that team for Man City away, because you know that's what he's going to do. Stephen Dunn says 15 minutes in, it could have been a row. Kev is buzzing. He says they must show a live replay. Yeah, he's all over the place. Sorry, he's on the cans. Leave me fucking alone, right? It's Christmas. Simicast is a savage. He's a little dirty fucker as well, and I love it about him. Let me see. I want to win this now, says Kevin Ball. It all depends when it comes around to the league, where we are in COVID and stuff. It's just the way it is. What time is the draw? Says Bonkers. Not too sure. Kevin Ball's in charge of that. He's not making the draw. He's just in charge of watching it for us. Apparently there might only be one leg in the semi, so hopefully we get a home draw. Unless they do a neutral ground, but they might not. Archie Doolan says, I've put on a stone, Gav. Kev, never leave you out. Great to see you in great form. Half-time Klopp must have said this the Champions League final, and Taki was brilliant. There's just so many coming in there. I'll try get stuck in. But Kev got really excited during the penalties and he's roaring and fucking, as soon as the fella up in Cork saved one of them, he went absolutely bonkers and I love it. But let's try to go back to the start while people are lashing the stuff in. And listen, 236 watching. If you're all Liverpool fans and you're all happy with how all the kids and all the subs and all the messing went on tonight, hit the like button. We should be doing way more than we're on, so go and do it. If you're happy with that result, you hit the like button, and let's see how many people are happy. Everything I see Kelleher, I see Shawnee Lawson. Anyone else is Kieran Thorne? Nah, Shawnee's much better looking than fucking Kevin Kelleher, in fairness to the lad. But when you look back at the lineup, Kev, we talked about this last night on the show. We were trying to put a line together, me, Keith, Conroy and Chris, and we never had Billy Cometti near it.
No.
We had Gomez. We didn't have... who did he play at? We didn't have Bradley near it.
Bradley at right back, yeah.
Yeah, we had Firmino, we had
Morton in.
We had Ox. We thought maybe Henderson just for a bit of protection. We had Morton. We were fairly well up on the side, Simicast, Kelleher, but there was a couple of bombs thrown in there, wasn't there?
There was.
Arsenal versus Liverpool in the draw.
That'll do. We'll take that. We don't mind that.
Who was drawn out first, just as a matter of interest, because if it goes to one leg, whoever was drawn out first, Chelsea v Spurs would be the crack, won't it? Mohammed Jogee says, put Arshavin on the draw, we'll probably end up playing Preston. Poor Andre Arshavin last week. I felt sorry for him, I really did.
That was gas. Poor fella didn't know what to do.
There was a few bombs thrown in there, wasn't there?
There was. The Billy Cometti one was a big surprise. But
massive.
Look, when you look back at it, it probably wasn't really. I was looking tonight, when it was 3-1, I was trying to think, right, when Gav comes to me and asks me, well, what did you think? I got to think of something here. So I look back at our, I think tonight was our 6th or 7th game this month so far, where Leicester have only played 4. They hadn't played since December the 11th. And we've played 3 games in that time. And Konate, we still don't know what the story is with Virgil. You know, fine if he comes back with a negative test, that's okay. He still might not be match sharp, match fit, because you still lose muscle mass in that couple of weeks that you're not able to train properly. So he might not risk him on the 26th, where he'll get him a couple of days training on the 28th. And he probably wanted to say to Ibu to, look, no, not tonight. You know, give yourself a break. Ideally, he'd have given him the night off. And, you know, I think I watched a bit of Cometio in the Euros, in the under-19s for Liverpool when they qualified out of the group, and he looks okay. I think his centre-back partner for the under-19s looks a bit better, to be honest.
Yeah, but he's very young, he's very raw.
And you could see it a mile off. He wanted a bit too much time in the ball. The decision-making is probably a second off. And in those type of games, with those type of forwards up against you, you don't get a second. I think Jamie Holmes put a tweet up at halftime, and he was spot on. And it was along those lines that the kids will come on so much from these type of games, Tyler Morton included, that you're against proper players. You know, James Maddison, Jamie Vardy, Patson Daka, experienced, quick,
Daka is lightning.
Yeah,
holy fuck, he rapid. Is quick. I didn't think he was that quick.
And you know what? They'll come on leaps and bounds for that. But at the same time, all of their goals came from our mistakes. Be it Joe Gomez, who was ring rusty beyond belief. You know, he hasn't started a meaningful game in a long time. And he desperately needed the minutes. But all of their goals came from our sloppiness on the ball. Be it not protecting the ball high up the pitch or giving it away.
It did. And like, Gomez gives one away, Ox gives ones away, and you know, when it's two, like Vardy, I want to say Vardy's finish for the Forces goal, but I think Kelleher could do better. I think it's well struck, but I think it's close enough for him to get something on it and get it away. But it's in the second one. It's just bad where we give it away, and it's one pass down the side, and Daka squares, and Vardy knocks it in, and you're looking at that centre-half partnership. And Gomez was poor. I think Cometio was poor. And I think Cometio was nervous. And I think Gomez was probably looking around too much to see where the other fella was, to see where he should be then, in turn. Now, that's not me defending Joe Gomez because I thought he was poor. But you see the difference in the second half where he knows where Konaté's going to be. He knows what Konaté's going to do. And Gomez, I thought, was really good second half. He was strong. He was quick. He played some good passes, It was just one of those.
When you look at the age of Ibu and Joe Gomez, and you think that's probably the first time that those two have played against a meaningful side, a proper side. Not, no offense to lower league opposition that will have played in this competition so far. They were really good in the second half. They were really quick, really solid, switched on.
They just kind of knew. They just kind of know where each other was. Sean Bones is Gav and the black stuff. Get in. You must be new to this place. I'm never off the fucking stuff at this stage, and it's Christmas, so it's never going. It's not going to end anytime soon. Simicast gives it away for the first goal, though, doesn't he? He tries to play one inside, and they play it through. But I think it's just a case of. Don't get me wrong. I think Joe Gomez was poor first half. But I think just knowing who was beside him second half, knowing his attributes, knowing
both sides of him as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and just it was just good for him. And even when it got to one-on-one defending or position-wise, looking for when there was true balls being looked for, Gomez was way much better in the second half. Konaté was unbelievable when he came on. Unbelievable when he came on. Good strike by Oxlade-Chamberlain though to get a goal back.
Yeah. And it was a nice move. The layoff back for I think it was Bobby. Yeah, Bobby laid it back. It was just, in fairness, you think of Bobby as a striker who's coming back from injury. He might have wanted to take a snapshot. A bit of it. He eyes up, looking around, laid it off. Nice hit. Good goal. It was a really good goal. And we needed it. We had to, because you were right what you're saying. After 12 minutes when they got their second, that could have been a drubbing. It really could have, if they'd have got a third.
Well, Tar makes a great point. He says, let's be honest. If Leicester's aren't a bunch of footballing cowards, they win that 3-1. Team in the image of their manager. I want to go and bash them on the 28th because I think they showed. They knew Liverpool were coming out with a weak team there tonight. They knew it.
Yeah.
And he still, do you know what? He couldn't bring himself to put 3 or 4 on the pitch and match up against Liverpool and go, you know what? Let me look at the bigger picture here and let me look at, I have City and I have Liverpool over the next week or so, right? And he went out, I think he went out as if to go, I don't care. I'll make a statement here tonight.
I think
it wouldn't have been much of a statement, but he would have thought he was making one. And when it goes 2-0, if you see his face on the sideline, he's literally standing there as if, look at me, chest out, shoulders back, chest out, and I was going, do you know what? I'd love to even pour it up. I'd love to even pour it up to him, and let him, even if he wins this game, to run out of here and only got away with one. But to go and beat him is just unbelievable. Garmack asks, one for you, Kev. How proud of you of your fellow Cork man?
I am absolutely delighted for the kid. We've all been here calling for him to be playing in these games, and the AC Milan game, and even for the Republic. He's so unfortunate. Conroy was saying it last night. He's so unlucky with the injuries and the timing of the injuries that he had, especially for a goalkeeper getting a hand injury. It's horrific for him. And in fairness to Bazunu's coming for the Republic and taking his chance. Plus the fact that Bazunu's out on loan and getting game time, it all stands good to him. But I was really worried for Caoimhín Kelleher at the start of this, probably September, October time, thinking, if he's only going to get domestic cups and Bazunu is taking his spot for Ireland, come the summer, he could start making noise. Justifiably so. And he'd be totally justified in making the noise because he's good enough. He's good enough to play at a decent level as a number one, let alone as a number two. Klopp has to start trusting him and start giving him, there's the odd Champions League game when you know you're going to have 70% of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He is a good keeper. Put him in, because there will come a time. Alisson has had shoulder injuries for the last few years, on and off. He's had niggles on and off where he's missed a few games in a season, 5, 6, 8 games. You need a keeper who's going to have his hand in and someone who can come in and you're not shit scared that he's going to fluff it because he hasn't played in 3 months. It's important, these games for him. I'm delighted for him. He's from the city. He's from up in the city. I'm delighted for him that he's got his game tonight, and even more so that the win will go to him. For the penalty shootout, because it's the one thing on the penalty shootout, keepers. It doesn't matter. You can be a hero or so what.
Yeah,
it's penalties.
But it's great to be a hero.
He was a hero tonight.
Yeah, Akash says, let's not hate on Brendan, brilliant servant of the club, and they're right to feel their strongest 11. A cup run is important to them. No, fair enough, Akash, but I can't stand him. I've no time whatsoever for him. I think he's an absolute spoofer of the highest order, and he wasn't a brilliant servant to the club. He wasn't. He was a servant of the club, and he had one extraordinary season where he nearly done the impossible, and I give him absolute kudos for that. But everything after that, no, I'm not having a bar of Brendan Rodgers. It's simple as that.
One thing, Akash, as well, I think Brendan Rodgers needed this cup. I think he's struggling at Leicester. I think Leicester are struggling in the league. The injury crisis that they had.
How weak mentally do they look, Kev?
I think they look fragile, and you could see it in the second half, even at 3-1 up. When we made the changes, they went into a big shell, and they did nothing in the second half.
Yeah, because
absolutely nothing.
In fairness, we take off Henderson, right, and we bring on Keita, we bring on Jota, we bring on Kanate. Who else comes on?
Milner comes on.
Yeah, so you have Milner, Henderson, Jota, Kanate. I'm sure I'm missing one.
And Owen Beck came on last.
Owen Beck, yeah. So he does bring on 14 players, and replaces the younger players for 45. But for that 45, Leicester didn't look interested. I think Dewsbury Hall has a good chance where he breaks a ball in the middle of the park and gets back on it and comes inside Milner and hits a shot, and it's a good save by Kelleher. Yeah. Other than that, one near the end where it's chipped to the back and Iheanacho gets it and it's intercepted, where I thought on 2 occasions they were offside. Other than that, they went into a shell.
I think Vardy hit the post in the first half at 2-0. It was either at 2-0 or 2-1. And he should have done better with that. I mean, look, I can understand Brendan Rodgers going strong with that side. If they haven't played for 10 days, you've got 5 subs. Get minutes into 4 or 5 key players and then use your substitutes. I can understand why he went as strong as he did. Get the game won at 60 and make your changes. The problem is the injuries he had to Pereira, the injury that he had to was one of the Soyuncu, scuppered his plans to do it how he wanted to do it, and he was forced into changes that screwed him. And do you know what? I got absolutely zero sympathy for him because, like you said, he had one great season where he had a genius in Suarez. He stumbled across a system that worked. Yeah, but it was all built on quicksand.
I would give it was built on sand, and Suarez leaves, and Roy Hodgson ruins Daniel Sturridge in the first international break. After we've gone and won at Tottenham, he goes on an international break at the start of 14-15, and when he comes back, I never seen Daniel Sturridge as a first team starter for Liverpool from there on in. He ruined them. Hodgson did. G10 said, Gav, did you always dislike Rodgers, even when we hired him? When Liverpool hired Brendan Rodgers, I thought it was a brave move. It was something different. It was going away from, Dalglish and whatever. And Hodgson was a disaster. You know what I mean? But you'd had Rafa, you'd had Houllier, you'd had Rafa, you had Hodgson, which was a disaster. Dalglish comes in and there's never a long-term thing. I thought it was an interesting appointment. And I loved him. Even in 12-13. Where he's building something. I loved him. 13-14, I just thought it's still one of my favourite seasons ever watching Liverpool. But from there on in,
he was given money.
I just couldn't. The stuff he was saying, the stuff he was going on about, playing Firmino left wing, insisting on signing Benteke, just being. I went completely off him, and I just went completely off, man, and I couldn't believe for the life of me he hadn't got the good grace to walk away from Liverpool after being beaten 6-1 away at Stoke City. I just could not get over him, not walking away, not taking the, and forget if the club back him, but not having the good grace to go, you know what, no, this hasn't been good enough, and I'm man enough to say it's not, and I'm gone. And then he just hangs on for 3 more months, and Liverpool are just bang average. And I just don't like him. I just don't like. And do you know what? I don't like him for that. Probably that. But what gets me is how built up he is by people as to something he's completely isn't. He's completely not what people think he is. You know, I think he's a good coach and a good manager. But stop building like. He gets linked to all these top jobs in the Premier League every time someone gets a sack, and I for the life can't understand why. He may prove me wrong in the and it's not. Listen, he doesn't give a shit.
It might be something that with
he
age
doesn't give a shit if he proves me wrong, but you know he might prove me wrong in the short or medium or long term. But right now, I'm sorry, like you've seen there tonight. I don't care what Liverpool players they brought on. At the end of the day, he had Liverpool exactly where he wanted them at half time, and he couldn't manage 45 minutes where Liverpool brought on 3 or 4 14 players and a young flat at left back then, and he still couldn't handle it. He still ended up with a forward line of Jota, Firmino, Minamino. You know, Salah was nowhere to be seen. Mane, you know, Thiago's not there, Virgil van Dijk's not there, Matip isn't there, Trent isn't there, Robertson isn't there, Alisson isn't there. There's so many players aren't there. And he cannot manage 45 minutes where all he has to do is lose by 1 goal. Simple as that.
I'd love if someone in the chat could find out the stats, because I swear to God, even at 3-1, we dominated that game.
Yeah, I can
absolutely bossed it. That's why I said I wasn't unhappy with the performance. I was pissed off at the result, at the scoreline, but I was more than happy. And I felt at 70 minutes, I said to myself, Salah and Mane are going, I'm happy enough.
Well, let me read some stats out for you, Kev, right?
Go on, shoot.
66% possession for Liverpool, 22 shots to Leicester's 8, 21 chances created to Leicester's 8, 3 big chances each, 439 passes to Leicester's 186, an 80% pass success rate to Leicester's 62, 15 corners to Leicester's 2. Okay, we had 22 shots, 6 on target. Leicester actually had 7 on target. They were quite efficient in the shots they had. Right, we had 9 off target. We had 7 block shots. We had 15 shots inside the box, 7 outside the box. We had 228 passes in the opposition's half. They had 62.
Wow.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
They won more of the duels. Forget discipline. But overall, when you look at what Leicester put on, I laughed my head off when I seen their starting 11.
Yeah.
And then when I seen what they were bringing on top of that, like he wasn't taking off Daka and putting on a young lad up front to give him a half an hour. He brings on
his first choice strikers.
You know, he brings on.
He hasn't been starting Daka. He's been starting Iheanacho.
Yeah, it's just, I just think it's unbelievable what he does. And as much as I laugh at what Brendan Rodgers can't achieve in 45 minutes, I have to give massive credit to what Liverpool achieved in that 45 minutes, because at half time, because of the players we probably picked and the way we've gone about it, we're 3-1 down. They're clinical, in fairness to them. But like you said earlier, we make mistakes. We're not played through in a 15, 20 pass move. It's one pass through and they're either setting each other up or scoring. Do you know the sort of way? But I want to start with Jota. You know, because I see them come out with second half, and I see Kanate go in there, and I go, yeah, makes sense. I see Milner come in, and I go, yeah, that makes sense as well. Tyler Morton, that's fine, no problem with that. And Jota, and I'm going, where is he putting him? Because does he just stick him out right, or does he put, like, how does he move this around? He can't put Firmino out wide. He's going to have to keep Firmino centrally. And I want to talk about Jota because he comes on, and I love this thing where I don't think he's interested in football outside the box. But he shows something tonight where he just went, I'm going to turn into Dirk Kuyt for 45 minutes. And that's for me exactly what he turned into.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Listen, there's one thing I want to clear up before we go into Diogo Jota. Tyler Morton was very lucky to be on the pitch.
I agree.
Tyler Morton should have had a red card.
I agree.
And it was a horrific tackle, and I hope he's pulled up for it by Klopp. I said, you can't do that. He got a booking, I think
and I looked at it and squirmed and went, he should probably be off here.
Yeah.
If
It wasn't until I
VAR,
seen
he's
the
off.
replay. Yeah, if I saw it wasn't until I saw the replay that I saw, Christ, that's high.
It was very high.
I thought, and do you know what? That should have got Leicester more up for it, but it didn't.
Yeah. In fairness to the Leicester player,
he helped Tyler out a lot.
He helps him out by, it's bad, but he got up. That's the one thing I will say. I'm thinking about it being Samara, was it?
It could have been Samara, yeah.
I'm trying to think it was in there, but I think it might have been him. But I agree with you. I think Tyler Martin was very lucky to stay on the pitch.
Yeah, and it's a different game with 10 men, and I guarantee you don't see Diogo Jota coming on if we're down to 10.
No, we write that off and we say good luck.
Yeah, you do. Diogo Jota though, he plays for Portugal when Ronaldo plays through the middle. Portugal often put Bruno Fernandes out on the right wing because the Portuguese manager just does not know what to do with Bruno Fernandes. But he will stick Diogo Jota on the left wing.
Yeah.
And that's where he plays. He's comfortable on the wing. He's industrious. And he did that for Wolves for the 2.5 years he was there, I think. On the right wing, he doesn't stay on the right wing. He was in central. He was in.
Yeah, but he seemed to be covering everything, Kev.
He did.
When it was out on the right,
how Nico Williams just bombed and bombed.
Yeah, but when it was out on the right, he was getting into tackles. When it was played into him, he was on the right. He scores as a left-sided striker. That's where he scores from. But it just seemed to be, when we have it, I'm going to wander in wherever I can and cause havoc. And when we don't have it, I'm making my way over to the right and try to do a job here. He genuinely turned into Dirk Kuyt for 45 minutes.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He really was
brilliant.
He wasn't the only one. He was probably the best of them. But I thought Ibu Konate was outstanding. James Milner had the bit between his teeth in midfield.
Yeah, I wanted him. But this is where I thought Leicester fell down, right? Because Mark Kavanagh says LFC fans are not hypocrites. Tyler Martin should have been sent off, shocking tackle just like Kane. I agree with you. I think he's very lucky on the pitch.
And if you don't call it out on your own, then
you
can't call it out. You have to. It was a straight red.
You have to.
He was a very lucky boy.
He comes from the side. He's off the ground and he catches him very high. Very high. But this is where Leicester lost it. So, and this is where I right up to the last minute I had faith that we get something. It's 3-2, right? The ball gets played towards the right. What's the name? The fella that started right back. You know him.
Oh no, it wasn't Pereira.
No,
Albrighton.
Did he start right back? No, he doesn't.
He comes on. He comes on.
Sorry, it goes towards Albrighton. Albrighton goes to take a touch. It goes into a tackle with Konate, and I still to this right now don't think that either of them make contact with each other.
No.
Albrighton for me kicks the ground, falls over, hits the deck. Konate gets up to get the ball, and Milner goes, "Gimme it," turns and runs her up the pitch. He gets cut out, goes out for a throw, and Yuri Tielemans decides that he's taking umbrage with James Milner. James Milner tells him basically to fuck off, right? I'll keep playing until someone tells me to stop. And the referee makes that point. You know, he played because he wasn't stopped from playing. Tielemans is giving her all that. Milner tells him to piss off, and straight Leicester are in, and Konate straight in just cleared the decks, which was great. Their keeper is out. Everything is going on. But that's where Leicester lost it. That's where Leicester lost it for me, because when I looked at it, I thought, do you know something? A more drilled team would just turn around and go, right, okay, Grant, set back in, we'll do it. But he didn't seem to have a plan. And I love the intensity of the Liverpool players. Like, I loved Keita, Jota, Milner, Firmino even. Well. Minamino was buzzing around the place. The two centre halves were literally saying to lads, "You go on, we'll look after these two." Because Leicester did keep two up at all times, and I just love it. Barry Devaney says Albrighton kicked Konate. I thought he stumped the ground with his toe and went over. Because
I thought it was a foul on Konate, Barry. I agree with Barry. I honestly thought if there was contact with anyone, it was Albrighton on Konate.
Yeah,
Konate was nowhere near him. It couldn't have been the other way around.
No, he slides in with his legs open. Like, he slides in with his legs open as if I think Konate is thinking, I'll slide in my legs open because if he gets a touch of this, I might get one of my legs to it. and I get to it.
At worst, I'll foul him and take the yellow.
But what happens is he goes down and misjudges it, and I think Albrighton kicks the ground, falls over. The ball actually bounces over Konaté's leg, and Konaté's left on the ground. You know, it's absolutely unbelievable. Someone says, how did someone asks how G10 asks how did Tillmans play? It's very hard to judge them in that side because
I thought they were poor in midfield.
Yeah,
because
I thought that what's it that is it something.
Samari got about a bit.
No, what's that guy? Dewsbury Hall, is that his name?
Dewsbury Hall played on the left hand side.
He's good. I like him.
He looks a player.
He looks a real player. There's a bit of pace and everything about him.
Yeah.
He was decent. But all they were looking to do was win it somewhere and just look to play the channels or in. Yeah. And if they got the chance in behind.
All they wanted to do was play on the counter. And with the centre-back pairing that we had in the first half, that's fine. That is how you do it.
Yeah.
You know, you trust your back four. You're playing a holding centre mid at centre back yourself. Samari in midfield isn't, it's still his first season. That's his first trip to Liverpool. So it was a strong 11 that they put out, but it wasn't without its faults. And you could understand why they wanted to play that way. But I cannot explain how good we were in that second half. Off the ball, on the ball, everything. It was night and day different. It was almost like a fear in the first half of if we get into the final third, my God, if we give it away, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Whereas in the second half, they went with conviction, and Nico and Tsimikas bombed on with conviction. They stayed up high to get the press on. They trusted Joe Gomez and Ibu Konaté to marshal the two forwards that Leicester left on. No problems. I was so impressed, and I'm so confident going into January now. I'm so confident going into January on the strength of that performance. So happy. Cannot explain how happy I am on the back of that.
The fire in Jota's eyes when he came on told me we were going to win. He was like a man on a mission. I loved it. His finish was brilliant. Somebody says there, Jota's goal. Rory says Jota's goal was similar to the position where he got slammed by Emerson Royale. Steadied himself and smashed it with his left foot. Also similar to the
I literally said exactly that.
Yeah.
Amazing what happens when you steady yourself to take a shot.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's the thing. It's a brilliant finish, and he just hits them so pure, Kev. He just hits them and they're just Schmeichel doesn't even know where the thing is before it's gone in the net. It's unbelievable.
It was a hell of a goal. Look, Kasper Schmeichel's an excellent keeper. He really is. He's a shitbag, but he's an excellent keeper. But he didn't have a clue. And you could tell from the very start of the second half, they wanted to kill the game. They wanted to take time out of the game. They wanted to time waste as much as possible. You had players going down with cramp, and you had Ryan Bertrand booked for tying his shoelace and all this kind of nonsense. And they tried every trick in the book against what, in essence, was not a reserve Liverpool side.
No, but does it not show you the lack of belief in them? Like, hold on. If I said to you, right, you're Leicester manager, Kev, and I'm going to put Queevy and Kelleher, Nico Williams, Joe Gomez, Ibrahim Konaté, Tsimikas, right? I'm going to have a midfield of start the second half, right? Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and James Milner. And I'm going to play up front. I'm going to have Jota, Firmino, and Minamino. And I'm going to give you a 3-1 head start. I'm going to give you a 2-goal head start, 45 minutes to play, and you're basically putting out the strongest team you can find. So he had Vardy, he had Daka, he had Maddison, he had Samara, he had Ndidi, he had Soyuncu, he had Pereira, he had the young guy at left back, granted, right? He's been playing in the Premier League regular. Yeah, but he had Dewsbury Hall, which has played. He scored in Europe. Right, yeah. So if I give you a team of Schmeichel, Pereira, Soyuncu, Ndidi, Thomas, right, and then he had in midfield he had Samar, he had Dewsbury Hall, Tielemans, yeah, and there was one other. No, we had Maddison and he had Daka and he had Vardy. So that's the two teams lining up.
Yeah.
How much of a lack of belief do you think that squad has in themselves and their manager and where they're going, that they can't come out with Anfield 3-1 up, a 2-goal lead with 45 minutes to go, and basically I think maybe had 2 shots at our goal in the second half. How?
Yeah, they completely folded. I mean, Leicester lined up with a diamond in midfield for a reason. They saw what Spurs did with when we were left with at Spurs with Tyler Morton and 2 centre backs. It's logical that you play a diamond with Maddison at the tip of it and go from there and build from there. But he never switched. He never changed it because all we did was go wide and kept the ball wide and dragged them all over the place. We were so good tactically in the second half, and almost all of it probably came from the players. They saw where the space was and they played in the space. We didn't go through the middle. Everything went wide to come inside. And against the diamond, you have to. That's how you do it. You play wide. You stretch the midfield, pulling players out of position. You play in the pockets inside that. We were so good at that. I mean, we didn't create many clear-cut chances, but I tell you what we did do.
We were on top of them, Kev.
We dominated them, and we scared the shit out of them. The amount of times they were getting the ball at the back and hoofing it out,
but even the last goal, Vardy is 30 yards from his own goal with the ball at his feet, looking around where am I going to put it? No one to put it to. He looked where he was trying to see what corner will I kick it to. Bang, nicked off him. You know what I mean? Bang, nicked off him. Got it wide. We get it in the box, and it's a brilliant finish by Minamino.
Yeah. I was delighted for Taki because he was taking a bit of stick during the game because of. Look, he is a bit lightweight. We know that, but he's very quick feet. And
when he's inside, lads, do you think Minamino's a 1 step forward, 2 step back type of player? Scores equaliser, and I'm thinking he needed that misses penalty to win the game. Listen, there's great players out there that have missed penalties to win games, and their team still go on to win. At the end of the day,
Baggio penalty for the World Cup final.
Listen, at the end of the day, the Kumi Minamino went out there tonight and gave everything he could for Liverpool. He scores an equaliser. We wouldn't be talking about penalties if he doesn't score.
No.
And all right, there's bits and pieces where you go, he's a bit lightweight. Is he this? Is he that? He gave it everything for Liverpool tonight.
When he's in the box, I think
and there's no way he's the worst player on the pitch.
No.
You know, and he's a £7 million signing that I quite like. As a squad member, Torres, Gav, you forgot he had a nice break too. Well, yeah.
I did a 10-day.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, it's Barry Devaney wants Devon Spores investigated. You forget the other team involved as well. Don't forget them. Leicester aren't the worst. There's 2 of them that are way worse than that. We're about to hit 200 likes. There's nearly 400 watching. There must be loads of non-Liverpool fans in here that aren't happy about the result tonight. But this is the rule. If you're happy about that tonight, you hit the like button. So whether it's now or on the way out, but do it now if you can. We're on 198. We get to 200. That'll be great. But it's a brilliant finish from Minamino though. Like the way it sits up high and he controls it brilliantly into the corner.
Gets his knee over the ball and bearing the context of the game, the minute of the game, he knows that's it.
Yeah,
it's shit or burst. You're in a shit or burst you're a shit or burst scenario there, and the technique to get your knee over the ball and get it away from a good big 6'4", 6'3" keeper. It's a lovely finish, and it's reward for him because he hasn't played. You know, I don't think he's played or started a game since the last round of the League Cup.
Yeah.
Someone could correct me on that. But it's difficult enough coming into this side.
He starts in Milan, doesn't he?
Does he start in Milan?
Yeah.
But but you know what I mean? It's one of those things. Joe Gomez is the same. Whenever any player comes into a fully flowing side, you know someone who's been out for a while. And there's a big difference between the training pitch and a full, a night under the lights at Anfield, 50-odd thousand shouting and roaring, and 94th minute, you've got the one chance. It's on you. And, more often than not, when he gets in the box, he does okay.
Yeah.
He's very good at arriving at the right time, and he's a decent finisher.
What I was going to say to you there, Dylan says, I agree. But do you have any faith in him starting the weekend or comfortable with him playing 3 or 4 on the bounce? I thought he was good tonight, but feel he's a player needed confidence. I'm okay if he starts. I'm okay if he starts. And And you have to remember, I think he does okay when he starts with even better players around him. Now in fairness, he plays with Firmino tonight. Then he has Jota come on with him. Simicast does well with him down the left hand side. He's absolutely fine. Like, what do you want from a six choice striker? Do you know what I mean? Jono says Taki is our sixth choice forward. He scored 5 goals. I can't ask for more. Like, that's the reality of it. He's the 6th choice. You know what I mean? And he's done all right. He's absolutely fine.
I think with a run of games.
Sorry, I just want to get this in because he's a Leicester fan. He says, I presume GG means great game. I don't know. Could be making that up. We should have won, but Rodgers loved to lose, so have a good season. I'd love to know your thoughts on Brendan Rodgers, because if I'm a Leicester City fan tonight, I'm absolutely fuming with him. Because for me, he's going to write off a game in the Premier League this weekend. That's what I think he's going to do against Man City, because of all them players that put in the minutes there tonight. Vardy doesn't come off. Vardy doesn't come off the pitch. Tielemans stays. Loads of them stay on. And then we might look and go,
back from injury.
Yeah, but you might look and go, we 4 days, we'll go big against City and we'll rest against Liverpool. I don't think they will, because the Liverpool game's at home. But I'd love to know your thoughts on Brendan Rodgers, because if he's my manager tonight, I'm fucking fuming at him. Not only because of the lineup he picks, but then when you get 3 up, you get 3-1 up, how you can protect that. Hope we beat Arsenal and get Matt Hayes Spurs in the final now, says Barry Devaney. Jesus Christ. Matt's been on a mad one this week. I've stayed away from it. For everyone's what's it?
Don't know.
I don't know either.
Leave that one there.
Yeah, I've stayed away from it. For the benefit of everyone, I suppose. But we should have won. We would have won if we didn't put 2 defenders. We put 9 past. We put 9 past late. I've been Rodgers out since the start of the season, says LCF. Well, there you go. Our fans seems to want all 6 forwards to be world class level. That doesn't happen. If they were, we wouldn't be accepting being 6th choice at Liverpool. Yeah, that's where Minamino is.
That's a fair point, actually.
That's a very good point. But that's where we are. He is 6th choice. Yeah. He comes in, he scores goals in the League Cup, he gets in here, there, and everywhere. And it's just one of those. Josh says COVID outbreak had no impact. Full strength lineup from Leicester tonight. I'm just fuming.
I think bar Dewsbury Hall. I think
I'm just fuming.
If Leicester had Johnny Evans, then Dewsbury Hall doesn't play. Sumari probably plays in midfield, and Ndidi plays as a holding CDM.
Yeah.
But bar one change, I think that's as strong as Leicester can go.
Yeah. Maybe you could argue at left back if he has
James
Justin. Or Castagna maybe. You could argue there. But other than that, I'm looking going, that's really fucking strong. You know what I mean? Jono says, what has Matt Hayes been doing this week? Matt's been having a great time over Spurs against Liverpool. Listen, come here. Matt has just had a good time over what's going on with Spurs and Liverpool. Don't take any of this stuff too serious. It's Twitter, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? He's having rail with different people, and fair enough, just go and have it. It'll be over next week. We'll be talking about something else next week. Matt's a good lad. He's alright. Let me see. Have a good night, lads, says Josh. Revenge on the 28th. I think Liverpool show up on the 28th with the players that were meant to have, Josh. I think you're in serious trouble looking at them players tonight and the way they reacted to having anything put up to them. Klopp the Mystic says it's disgusting if clubs are manipulating this situation.
We'll never know, unfortunately.
I'm not saying anymore.
We can suspect, but
I'm not saying anymore. But Kev, listen, we've done, I don't know how long we're on now. Nearly an hour.
I'm nearly headed to the fridge for another one.
Nearly an hour, yeah. No, I'm not heading to the fridge because I've work to do, and I did say we'd be out of here by about 10:30, 11:15. So it is 11:15 now. If anyone wants to talk about anything other than football, throw it in there. Someone did mention crisp sandwiches earlier, and
look in your man of the match suggestions as well, guys.
Yeah, man of the match suggestions. The crisp sandwich talk absolutely piqued me interest. I will tell you that.
Hello.
But the answer is actually salt and vinegar crisps on bread with butter. Just to
no, it's not. It's a tater sandwich.
No, it's not.
It is a tater sandwich.
It's actually salt and vinegar king crisps on bread.
No. I'll tell you what, when I was living in England, you couldn't get taters. Every time you used to come back.
Was the Walkers over there?
It's Walkers or Yeah, but it's probably Walker's the main one, and they just ain't potatoes. They ain't the same. King are nice, but they're a bit too light.
No, King
Potatoes
salt and
are a
vinegar.
bit oily and a bit, they leave a bit of a tang to you. It's I could actually remember the 5p bag of potatoes. When when do you remember the bag of potatoes? You used to have the price in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
The earliest one I can ever remember was 5p.
Well, there's a couple of shouts here, right? It was Garmac that asked about the crisp sandwiches. Peeling mushrooms, I'm not going into again. They're disgusting. You shouldn't be getting them near you. I have got one from Dylan that wrote that I want to ask. Klopp the Missy says, Gav, please talk about Jota. We've just done that for about 10 minutes.
Jota's I tell you what, Jota's on the verge of becoming a superstar.
I think he's on the verge of becoming the best footballing cult hero you might come across.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because of the way he carries on.
But it's mainly for the new generation of fans.
It's the needle he has. It's the needle thrown in.
Yeah, he's got
where
the
he's
edge.
just like he literally come on that pitch second half as if to say, I'm not putting up with this. No way. We're not putting up with this. No fucking way. These fuckers going around and sliding in front of the cop and giving it the big one against kids. We're not having it. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. But that's what Jota's. Sean Bournes has hit the subscribe button. You can if you want. We can't make it. But we obviously ask if you can. Just nearly 400 watching, 244 likes. Keep going. If we see if we can get to 300 and we talk about crisp sandwiches. The time wasting from Leicester didn't work. They were appalling. Garmax's batch bread essential. I cannot agree more with that.
Yeah.
King salt and vinegar is elite, says Paul Jones. Paul Jones, he knows what the fucking story is. King salt and vinegar on batch bread with loads of butter, and my God, it's fucking great. Cup of tea with it, unbelievable.
Mike in the World, cheese and onion sandwiches with mayo. I haven't tried it with mayo.
I've done cheese and onion crisps with ham.
Yeah, you can't go. That's all right, but it's got to be a decent ham.
Yeah. Mark Donegan says, never get to listen live, but listen to all the podcasts. Love the show on the Reds. I have to get off here to edit it so you can listen in the morning, Mark. Buffalo Hunky Dory's on a roll with a drop of taco sauce would have you in tears.
Nah, see,
I am over Buffalo flavour crisps on a roll.
No, I'm very much along the lines. I don't mind heat, but not heat for the sake of it. I want to be able to taste the food.
You know, has to be cheese and onion potatoes, says Robbie Doyle. He's with you. Yeah. You can get potatoes in Australia, not the real stuff. It's probably a yellow bag, is it? I've seen yellow bags of potato hanging around the UK as well. I don't think it's the same gear. Yellow potato, says Jay Cal. Hunky Dory's not to be confused with Aldi's Oakley Doakleys. No. Hunky Dory's are completely different. Mark Kavanagh. Pub crisps are unreal. Manhattan pub crisps are unreal.
I have come across them ones. Kieran B there, disco salt and vinegar years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You ever had disco crisps? They're the kind of crisps that just make.
Were they the ones you got the little bag of stuff with and you could pour it over it?
No. That was a different one. Discos were the ones that made your mouth just like recoil because of the amount of fucking alphabet vitamin letters that were in the damn thing. It was horrible. They were horrific because they were unreal for the flavors that were in it. But my God, they would blow the head off you.
Let me see.
I'm not a big fan of ready salted crisps. Gotta be fair. It's
ready salted. They're all right.
I like a Pringle. Pringles.
Pringles aren't bad. Emma Kavanagh says, just made myself a toasted ham. I don't know what go the cheese is. Is that meant to be goat cheese? I don't know. Like you're way above my level here. Sambo on the George Foreman. Get a sandwich maker. It's a fucking tenner. Go and get it. I feel like I'm watching the Anfield rapper all this crisp chat. We love all this stuff. And Red Steve says, my God, you lads with the potato products. Someone mentioned crisp sandwiches and we're going with it for the last few minutes. This is what we do.
You got to remember where we're based. You know what I mean?
Dylan O'Rourke needs to fucking want to sort himself out, right? He says, batch bread is what they fed to people during the famine. Batch bread is unfucking believable. Way better than sliced pan. Way better. King fucked into a bag of Manhattan popcorn. Try a cracking King cheese batch bread. I like the crisps in popcorn. I do. Remember Perry crisps, lads, at Barry Manley? I do indeed. They weren't bad actually. Let me see. Disco salt and vinegar years ago near burning the mouth off you, but lovely, says Kieran B. What was the one where you used to open the bag and they had a little sachet in it? And you used to pour the sachet. I thought it was Disco's.
No, I think it was. It might have been Smith's. It was.
I think it was Disco's.
No, it definitely wasn't Disco's because these ones used to come. I think it was the blue and white striped bag, and it had the a sachet of salt in there.
There was definitely a sachet in something that made it
Yeah,
deadly.
you could.
Anyone
there
like
was another one
bagels?
that.
Says Klopp the Mystic. They're the hottest thing in the world when they come out of a toaster. Bagels, but they're amazing.
Yeah, I do like bagels.
Most stuff on thing. Anyone putting crisps on batch needs locking up. Love a bit of batch, but not for crisps. Brennan's all the way. Jay, give it over, Jay, for fuck's sake. I'm telling you now, batch bread, loads of butter, king.
Yeah, but not spread. It's got to be proper butter.
Listen,
not none of this spreadable stuff.
There.
No,
bagels with cream cheese and tomato wouldn't eat cream cheese, or salmon wouldn't eat cream cheese if you paid me. And salmon, no. I feel like I'm out of my depth when it comes to salmon. Let me see. I'm trying to see what else was here.
That was it, Joshua. Salt and shake. It was they were just tasteless, plain, horrible crisps. And then you get whatever flavor sachet that was in there, lock it in and smash them around, and that was your crisps.
There was definitely someone says I've never heard of pub crisps. You've never heard of pub crisps? You can buy them in shops now. Manhattan make pub crisps. King do it as well. The pub crisps were just fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. The salt and vinegar Discos will leave you out with scurvy. Still in our hole. Did anyone try the wasabi Pringles when they were out about 10 years ago? Fuck me, head sweats and everything. No, never tried them.
Never
salt
tried
and vinegar
them,
Discos would take the skin off the inside of your mouth. Discos were lethal. Do you remember the other ones as well? Mini chips they were called. They were a tiny little blue bag. They were the same price as a normal packet of crisps, but they were a really small blue bag. They were made by KP, and they were literally salt and vinegar, little, really skinny, solid salt and vinegar sticks. They were called
what I used to love as a kid was the chipsticks.
Chipsticks are great, but
yeah,
Jesus
I love
Christ,
chipsticks.
You need to bring a toothbrush with you when you're eating them. Anyway.
Oh God, yeah, forget about
unbelievable. Still selling Discos and home savers. Salt and vinegar will burn the taste buds out your tongue. I'm going to go out and find some Discos.
Yeah.
Discos were lethal. They were. Does anybody? I'll tell you. We talk about putting stuff on a roll. I remember years ago, we used to go to school and I'm talking nearly 30 years ago. But there was crisps called Crunchos, and they were hot dog flavour crisps. They were 12p for a packet. They were red bag with white on it, with the 3 stars, like you see on an American flag. They were called Crunchos. They were 12p, and we used to go into the deli. There was a deli shop in Glasnevin on Hart's Corner beside the Spar, and this woman used to run it on her own, and she used to give us you used to get the roll for 20p with butter on it, loads of butter, and then you go in the Spar and you buy your Crunchos, lash it on the roll. They were unbelievable. Let me know if anyone remembers the Crunchos, because they were epic crisps. Someone's saying about that little sachet, Smith's Salt and Shake. I've never heard of Smith's Salt and Shake.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Smith's. I'm nearly certain it was.
No, I'm telling you now, I'm nearly 100% sure Discos used to give you a sachet that you could fuck all over the stuff. Gav, this is a trip down memory lane of your school lunches at St. Vincent's. It is St. Vincent's School in Glasnevin. I used to get a packet of Farmer Brown smoky bacon or salt and vinegar. No, mine was definitely the deli 3 doors down from the Spar. You got off the bus beyond the school. There was a tennis club that you used to look in the rail and see if you could find any tennis balls to play with at lunchtime. And then you walk down, you got your roll, loads of butter, out of there, into Spar, packet of Crunchos, lash on the roll, game ball.
Brilliant.
Paulie Walnut says, I mentioned them a few minutes ago. Didn't see that. Paulie Walnut said they were lethal. Crunchos were unfucking believable. White bread with butter, salt and vinegar walkers, couple of slices of cheddar cheese, banging, says Jus. I'm not lashing cheese near crisps. I think
I love my cheese.
There's not enough resistance in cheese. Ham you get away with, but cheese is standing there going, fuck you, crisps. So I'm not giving you an inch of leeway here. There you go. So yeah, we could talk about all this all night, but
I like smoky bacon. Can't be nice, and it's difficult. It's difficult to find a decent smoky bacon.
Potato smoky bacon is nice.
Yeah, there was. I think Walker's did a nice one. Walker's used to do
Worcester
a nice
sauce crisps are lovely.
Yeah. And there was another one, pickle. It was Worcester sauce, and there was a cheese and pickle one.
I used to love I love prawn cocktail
You
crisps.
dirty animal.
Yeah,
Dirty, man.
the likes of skips and I like that. I really do.
Yeah, my daughter likes those.
Yeah, Ant Mac says, evening lads, fuck the Tories up the Reds. Yeah, it's been a great night.
Well done,
We're on to
man.
crisps
That's
now and what you
fantastic,
should
man.
put on bread. Because this is becoming a team now. Do we keep this team going after Christmas?
Keep it going and see how long it goes.
Yeah, because I think people are enjoying
Paul
it.
Jones there, hot lips and skips. Stopped here.
Right, but we're 274 on the likes, so if you get us to 300 in the next 3 minutes, we'll continue this team on most shows where we just talk about food and weird stuff that we want to talk about. So lash on the likes there. If we can do another 26 in the next 3-4 minutes.
Dean Gibbo there, red Dorito sandwich. I can't get on with Doritos.
No, they don't
not
do
a
it
fan
for
of
me.
Doritos.
Oh, McCoy's crisps, they are solid.
Paul Jones scampi fries. I love scampi fries.
Yeah, Klopp the Mystic says Gav has tried a lot of crisps, hasn't he? Yeah, I have. And I'm not a huge fan of crisps. You know,
I'm very much take it or leave it. I love my biscuits.
Yeah, I like a biscuit.
We'll do that in another show, but I love my biscuits.
I like a biscuit, but
crisps take them or leave them.
Yeah, it kind of take me fancy every now and then.
Yeah, if they're there, I'll have them. Like,
but I wouldn't go out my way. But just load what fucking kids haven't eaten crisps for fuck's sake? Tato smoky bacon, £1.50 for a big bag in deals. Says Garmac. He must be working for deals. 284, 16 more likes, and we continue this throughout the web. Oh yes. Dylan O'Rourke, good man. What's your dessert choice? What's your number one go to dessert?
Apple tart.
Apple tart.
I love it. I love
ice cream.
Love a decent apple tart. Nice ice cream, warm but not hot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it cold. Not warm, and just a couple of scoops of ice cream on the side. Let the ice cream melt a little bit. It's just fucking heaven for me. I absolutely love it.
There's some great shouts coming in here. Space Raiders were a childhood favourite. I'll tell you what I love.
Oh God!
Do you remember the ones called? There was one called Ghosties, and they were smoky bacon crisp. They weren't a crisp. They were like a fucking.
I don't know what they were.
What you call them? Maze. Isn't that what that means? Isn't it
maze?
Yeah. There was ones called Ghosties, and the other ones were the best ones of all time were the Banshee Bones. The Banshee Bones crisps were fucking deadly. I don't know if anyone knows. Onion rings. Why have Johnny Onion Rings been ignored? They are elite. They're the pinnacle of crisps. You should move in with my wife. My wife thinks Johnny Onion Rings are the best thing that's ever been invented as well. Knick-knacks, salt and vinegar squares. Remember Tudor
all
crisps?
All these desserts flying in now. Love it.
Tudor crisps. Did a pickled onion crisp was the business. I'm definitely putting crisps on bread after this. Sticky toffee pudding for Red Steve.
Nice. That's a proper school dinner, though, isn't it? That's your school pudding. Sticky toffee pudding.
Gatto Diane. If you've not had it, get it. The only Gatto I can remember is Gatto from the north side of Dublin that made the cakes, and you used to get like a lemon log. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Cheesecake for Kieran Banoffee.
Nice. Yeah, but what flavour cheesecake? Strawberry for me.
Lemon, I think, is fantastic.
Lemon's alright. I like strawberry.
My mother makes them to order, so she does the likes of with Toblerone bases on them, and she does Ferrero Rocher. She does Terry's chocolate orange.
It's not Terry's.
What? No,
not Terry's.
It's not Terry's. It's mine. But Terry's chocolate orange. So she does the biscuit on the base, but the actual cheesecake bit of it is Terry's. It tastes like Terry's chocolate orange.
Yeah. Antoine Go there is showing his age. The marathon.
Sticky toffee, bit of dream topping can't be beaten. Maltese meringue is elite. Lemon meringue, coffee cheesecake, Wheelie's crisps. Wheelie's crisps were quality. Getting more likes for the crisps than the football. Brilliant podcast. We'll watch after with a crisp sandwich. Mark, I'm not messing. I'm gonna go, right. This is what I do. I finish here. I'll finish that point. I literally set up stuff. I run all this through a bit of software. It takes a few minutes to get it right before I bring it out as an audio. And literally while I'm doing that, I'm boiling kettle and butter and bits of bread. Like, genuinely. But listen, like I said, if people don't like it, we'll stop. You know what I mean? But people seem to like the nostalgia bit. Black Forest Gatto was lovely. That's a show. Banshee
I
bones
tell you
will
what,
burn your eyebrows off when you open the packet. Loved Banshee bones.
Bejan there, a bread pudding and rum sauce. You can't beat a decent bread pudding.
I never heard. What's that? Is that just bread?
It is, yeah. It's usually bread soaked in you'd have bread, fruit. So you butter the bread both sides. You'd have whatever dried fruit you want to put in it, and then you put like a melted butter over the top of it, and then you just stick it in the oven and bake it. It's lovely.
I bought these things there today. I can go to my ma's for Christmas dinner, and I know she'll have something made, but my wife was like, just go and get some sort of dessert when you're in Duns, will you, to bring down.
It's an Irish.
She never goes anywhere empty-handed,
Yeah.
LFC Daytrippers versus the LFC Night Snackers. But look, it's let me see. So unprofessional of you, Gav, having a guy vaping on the show. Michael, I'm being honest with you. If I didn't have my wife and daughter upstairs, I'd be smoking on the fucking show. So relax. But what was I saying? Yeah, I went to the Duns and I picked up these 6 things, and they're like, I don't even know what the name of them are. They look nice. I bought them, and I bought a big tub of chocolate ice cream to go with them. Now, the chances are they go down, they go in the freezer, and nothing will happen. Profiteroles are lethal. Warm chocolate fondant, says Emma Kavanagh. Egg custards in the bread and butter pudding, says Jer Call. You off for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gav, slightly stale bread, currants, and a cream sauce. Bake and make sure you use XO Mount Gay rum for your sauce. Oh, it's fucking way too much going on there for me. I love profiteroles, I have to say. I love chocolate pudding or chocolate, chocolate cake. I like chocolate cake.
I like
warm chocolate cake now.
I like fudge cakes, and my missus does a nice chocolate sponge, and she'll do her own chocolate sauce and what have you for the filling. Like she'll do chocolate Victoria sponge, and then she'll make her own chocolate sauce and usually put loads of stuff over the top of it. That with a nice custard, it's decent.
Yeah, but I'm a simpleton. Like, you could hand me a fucking chocolate and say it was dessert, and I just sit there and go, "Yeah, great, thanks."
Love chocolate.
You know what I mean? So it's not like
it's not like we thought we were really posh when we were getting Viennetta growing up. So
yeah, Häagen-Dazs ice cream, haven't had it in years. Remember eating it as a kid and thinking you could get drunk on it, which was the crack. Steve says, I'm off to raid the fridge. No, we're off as well. We're heading off. We've hit 302 likes, so this will
you guys
continue.
are absolute
but it will only continue if we say to you, 10 minutes to go, anything else you want to talk about or throw it out there, and we'll have a bit of laugh over it. Go for it. And if you do. If it's boring shit, we won't. So it's up to you to keep it going. Profiteroles, says Mac, slagging me off again. It's profiteroles. What do you want me to fucking say? That's the word. Do you know what I mean? It's the same when I said croquette the other night, and he absolutely lost his mind. Chocolate lava cake, Gav, cream and vanilla ice cream. Yeah, I'm all over it. All over it. Michael Ramsey says, glad to know so I can avoid your channel now. Why? Because someone's vaping on it.
Yeah.
We're drinking as well. We're drinking as well.
We're terrible.
We're doing everything. So avoid if you want, Michael. Listen, come here and I tell you. There's way worse things in the world than a fella vaping or a fella having a smoke or a drink while talking about football. We're a load of like-minded people. Come off it. Häagen-Dazs is about 30 quid a tub. No, it's not. It's not 30 quid a tub for Häagen. Where are you buying that?
It's about 6 or 7 euro.
It must be about lira. You must be buying it in lira, eh? For fuck's sake. Outstanding show again, lads. Thanks for all your work. Happy Christmas. Well, listen, I'm going to say Happy Christmas to you because this is my last show before Christmas. Letting the team down by giving up 3 days before Christmas. But this is my last show before Christmas Day. It's not Kev's. He's coming back tomorrow with Chris for this. Literally, lads, if you work this right, and turn up in the chat tomorrow night, you can absolutely hijack sports.
Yeah, tomorrow night is your show.
Random shit about food and what shampoo you use, whatever it might be.
Yeah, you can play Chris about pretty much anything you like. Start talking about cricket. Chris loves cricket.
Yeah.
Formula One, loves Formula One.
Yeah.
We can get on to talking about broccoli cheese and cauliflower cheese and all that stuff, but get your cricket questions in,
that's
man.
it.
Chris
Any sport you want.
F1.
I'm sure I'm sure if they start at 10 tomorrow night and they talk for 40 minutes, they'll definitely do another 20, 30 on random shit they just want to do. And you never know. I could be around. I could be around, see what's going on, jump in, and might get involved as well. But listen, it's definitely my last show before Christmas, so I want to say to every single one of you, from the bottom of my heart, to have the best Christmas that you possibly can under these kind of the stuff that's going on, I suppose. Eat loads of crisps, lash the discos into you, your pudding, wherever it might be. Have a few smokes, but don't let the other fella that's moaning there a minute ago find out that you're doing it. And have a brilliant and a safe Christmas. Kev, thanks a million for joining me. It's been an
absolute pleasure, man. What a night!
Yeah, it's a cracking night. We're on.
Absolutely buzzing.
We're an hour and 19 in now. We've had 306 likes because people are happy that Liverpool won, and they showed up by hitting the like button. So there you go. It's been another cracking show. Have a brilliant Christmas. Make sure to check out the lads tomorrow night because they are going to talk about all different sorts of sport maybe from the year that's gone. If you want to bring stuff up like that, you know,
you want to have a listen about the Olympics, or if you want to go back over the Euros, whatever floats your boat, guys. It's your favorite
fucking liquid yolk you stick in the washing machine to make your clothes smell nice, whatever, that sort of stuff. Your preferred dishwasher tablet, doesn't matter. Lash it all in there tomorrow night. Garmax says, thanks, Gav. Have a great Christmas. Love this channel. Listen, this channel is all about coming on, having opinions, having a laugh, helping people. And if that's what we do, and we managed to do that, which I think we've done this year, and we're going to try even harder to do next year, because we're going to up the content by probably 40 to 50% next year, starting in the fourth week of January. So make sure you get involved, and listen, it's all about you coming in and having the crack with us, because like all your comments fucking make it, don't they? But that's it. That has been Full Time Reds. Liverpool 3, Leicester 3. Brendan Rodgers and his smug mates have fucked off back to Leicester after a penalty defeat, thanks to Queevy and Kelleher and that killer that we know as Diogo Jota. Over and out.